All right, back at it again. Today I'm going to be talking about a highly controversial topic. It's AI. Oh boy, ChatGPT, all the Sora AI, and all the wild racist things that are coming out of that. Whoa, no one's ever talked about that before. Oh, where'd you get that topic from? I don't know, man. I'm a pretty original guy, but since I'm a teaching assistant now and I actually teach students, have to grade their assignments, unfortunately. I have the very strong need to talk about using ChatGPT for your homework. Like, look, I'm not this purist no AI guy. Like I've dabbled in using AI generation for errors or asking about code or telling it to analyze some stuff because it can be helpful if you actually look at the output and confirm, because it's like these language models are essentially like auto completion on steroids, which there's a lot of things that these companies do to make it seem smarter or analyze it better or like go through a bunch of iterations, though all these technical details that make it the quality that it is today. And I have no doubt that it's going to keep getting better. And I think it's a very useful tool if used correctly. And I think another fellow, not fellow, I'm not remotely close to how great this person is, but Alberta is a YouTuber that talks a lot about AI and tech stuff and programmers, and their content is very entertaining, and I really like it. But one of their videos, or her videos, I'm unsure of their preferred pronouns, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I apologize in advance if I messed it up. But it was about the ethical uses of AI and all sorts of uses and how ethical they are, which is like some of are highly ethical and not highly ethical because AI usage, come on, it's always going to be a gray area because of how these AI models were trained. That's the underlying problem. No one's permission. They just scraped the whole web or whatever, took everyone's blog post without permission, and now they're reaping millions upon millions of dollars because they used everyone's publicly available data, which is, even if it's not technically illegal, some of it might be, you don't know. It's still a very morally gray area, morality wise, which, I have some morals. So I've always not reframed. Reframed is a whole other topic. Reframing is great, but refraining from using AI to generate or solve my assignments when I was in college. And I think this has helped me out a lot because I actually had to try and understand things, and I never stepped foot into the ChatGPT website up until like a couple of months ago. Yes, I know, it's crazy. But the point is, I have, but to be fully transparent, I have used AI to help me with one of my assignments, which was developing a game because I didn't have that much time, and it would save a lot of time just writing the boilerplate code. I used Claude to help develop my game, or it wasn't really a game, whatever. Details don't matter. I used Claude. It helped me out a bit. It's useful. It mitigates, it helps you just save a lot of time. And oh yeah, there was another time in my second year or like my third semester where I also just GitHub Copilot that had just come out, and I had used it to also generate some boilerplate for a Java object-oriented programming project where I wrote the first class for like because it was essentially an MS Paint clone. So you'd have like all these classes for a square, all these shapes. So I wrote the square one, and then I asked Copilot to like, okay, this class is gonna be like that exact same as the square, but a circle, and so on and so forth. Like, it saved me time, and it's not like I didn't understand what it was doing. And of course, I had to test it, and I wrote unit tests. I believe I was writing unit tests at the time. I'd have to confirm. I can link the repository for that. Not the point. The point is, AI is great. Not that great, but it's cool. It's useful. I think AI art is something completely out of the question. It's not really a tool here, unless you're generating references that you can get inspired from and see, like to help you visualize or paint the picture that you're trying to do better. But not essentially like typing a prompt and oh my god, and then retype and then typing another prompt on top of the image to like make some changes and then now you're an artist. That doesn't really conform to it because you're not the one making those changes. It's not, and you're, and it gets even worse. Alberta also mentioned this, is when you're using an AI model that essentially mimics someone's style. Then you're not an artist. You're just using a model that was trained on a certain artist style to generate new art. And in that case, that's just yeah, that's not really your art, is it? No, that's just you being lazy to not commission that exact artist to do that, or you can't afford it. And then if you can't afford something, and it's art is also like not really necessary thing to live. One can live without art, arguably, but objectively, you cannot live without food. And money puts food on the table. So if you can't afford to get art, you can live without doing that, and you can just get food. So yeah, AI is AI this, AI that, bro. Like, how about you AI some? I don't know. What am I even getting at anymore? What am I even talking about? My little tiny noodle brain, bro. AI generated content. Oh god, AI influencers. What Quebblecop was trying to do. And I'm not even. I think his career is over now. I'm not really keeping up with what he's doing and where he's at. But I think that also is AI slop content is yeah, I don't like it. AI scamming people using AI, like using Mr. Beast or something, or Elon Musk to generate a video with him saying, "Go buy this cryptocurrency. We're giving away for free. Sign up with your credit card, and trust me, we're not gonna charge you for money." Haha. That is. It's like anything though. Like you can use anything for evil, but I feel like you can use some things you can use for more evil than good. Which begs the question, is it worth to have this little good if this much evil can come out of it, and how easy it is? Because it's not that easy to use AI for a good purpose, because it requires you to actually do effort, put effort into it. Reading is a very rare skill these days, because you will be scrolling YouTube shorts and you see a scene from a show when the title of the short is like from what episode or the title of the show, and you have like 10 comments like, "Oh, what's the show name?" Or it's in the description. And yeah, I think AI has heavily impacted the human species in such a negative way, and so has short form content, to a point where reading is now a rare skill. Anyway, I just really wanted to talk about the good uses of AI. So while I'm at it, here I am talking about the good uses. You can ask it about a code base, like when you're coding, if you're working with a code base and you don't have that much documentation or that much time, you can have it summarize things for you, or you can ask specific questions. So you can, because you can control F and look for a specific word or a keyword that you're trying to find. But I think LLMs are way better at just understanding this context, because that's what they're built for. They understand the context of words and see where it's mentioned, and then they get you the most relevant stuff to it, the most relevant and closest words to what you're trying to find. And it's way faster depending on where you're running it. But one more thing that I want to talk about is the PewDiePie insanity rabbit hole. What I mean by that is AI is evil. They steal your data. When you type into ChatGPT, make sure you're not giving them any sensitive data. Try to censor as much as you can. Use it responsibly. Don't just blindly throw things as if you're talking to your mother, asking her about what you're gonna eat today. No. Gotta be more conscious with your data, because it's not like I don't trust the companies. It's just I don't trust the companies to keep the data safe, because you never know. It happens. Why would you run that risk? If my data is gonna be leaked by somebody, it's gonna be me, okay? I want to be the stupid guy that leaks my social security number online, not some company because I sent them a picture of my ID without censoring. Because me, I'm still stupid. That's also stupid. Don't do that. But it's the company that ultimately lost this data and got leaked, because I entrusted them with something that me ultimately shouldn't have done. Yes. Be responsible. And if you want, but what if I want to be stupid with AI? What if I want to do whatever I want with the AI? Well, you can run some of these models on your own computer. What I mean by that is, I've talked about this in my Minecraft Let's Play videos, but to sum it up, these LLMs, ChatGPT, they all run on like big GPUs, and they're very big models. They're hundreds of gigabytes in size, but there are smaller models. They're still pretty good. They're not as good, obviously, but they get the job done. And you can be as stupid as you want with them, because if you run them on your own computer or your own server, or I don't know, in your own company server or whatever, whichever is the closest thing to your use case, you can't. You're not leaking your information. Your information stays with you. It's on your computer. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no terms of service that's saying we keep your data unless you tell us to delete it. PewDiePie also mentioned this, that even when he deleted his account, they didn't delete his data. Which, if you're not super conscious about your data and you haven't shared anything sensitive, fine. But if you happen to do that and you deleted your account just for that purpose, well, you have to actually email them, and it's like, yo, I deleted my account. Can you delete my data as well? Thank you very much. Which I think is also very scummy, because a lot of people won't even bother to do that, and that's what all these big companies are preying on, that the average consumer doesn't care and will let them make money off of them. Which, I don't know if I hate the player or the game here, but you know what? Screw all of you. At this point, if I leak my social security number to ChatGPT, screw me. Yeah, I'm stupid. But also, if ChatGPT just keeps that data and doesn't, without my permission or without me being really aware of it, even though I deleted my account, and then they have a data leak because they messed up, then screw them too, right? There's no one is in the right here for doing that. There are no good sides. There's only bad. Yeah. Everything sucks. Unless you do it yourself and running on your own computer. Which then, you're paying the price of you have to spend more time setting it up, and you get a much less quality product, because if the product is free, you are the product. Aha. Anyways, that is really about all I have to say, without padding for more runtime. Goodbye.